Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to GC365. I am Kara, the Woodinville Children's Pastor, and I have Shannon back with me again.
Hello, because we're so much fun.
We are. We did it our first week, and I realized we never introduced ourselves.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
We're just the mysterious women.
So we were like the mysterious people. Nobody knew our names because we didn't introduce ourselves. So now
you
Kara,
know. If
Shannon.
you've stuck with us this whole time, then we've capped off your first 117 days of fun.
Yep. And now we're back. Okay. So we're going to get right into it because there's a lot to unpack
stuff for sure.
So Judges 7 and 8 is about Gideon.
Yeah.
I mean.
It's a story I remember hearing so many times as a kid.
Yes.
And that whole like, a sword for the Lord and Gideon. Yeah. There were songs. I couldn't remember them. But we did like plays with it.
Yes.
But I didn't really ever read the whole thing.
No. It was just like that little, like the children's Bible. It was like the little blurb about Gideon and then that's it.
And they don't even carry swords.
No. They had 0 swords.
Yeah.
They had pots and pans. It was like.
Yeah.
And
horns and pots.
Yeah. And like 5 bowls of fire.
Yeah.
Torches.
Yeah.
It's kind of I imagine we both love The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, that whole.
Yes.
So I just imagine in the last Lord of the Rings movie, Return of the King, if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
No spoilers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry. And it's like all the good guys, there's like 12 of them or something.
Yeah.
Versus like thousands and thousands of these like horrible, evil people. But they win. They come out on top.
Yeah.
And that's just what I envision now after like really reading.
Yeah.
Thoroughly the story of Gideon. That's all now I picture in my head is like Gideon is like Frodo.
And the Midianites were the orcs.
We're the orcs who are really gross and horrible people and all died. So
yeah,
same thing.
What cracked me up is so many times, and I've read it, Joseph did it, like a bunch of different people do it. They say, oh, I have this dream.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, oh, well, naturally, the interpretation is this.
Right.
And I was like,
how did you come to that conclusion?
Why naturally?
Right.
Like, why is that like, well, of course, it can only mean this one thing.
Yeah.
Like, the barley loaf was falling down the hill.
Yeah.
Well, of course that must mean. Of course.
Obviously.
I would not jump to that conclusion, but I'm really glad that they do.
Yes.
That's helpful.
Maybe that's their spiritual gift, interpreting dreams.
It could be. And maybe those are the details that we
miss.
Right,
that we don't necessarily have or will know until we can ask.
I know that it says that everything in the Bible is God-breathed. Even like the details of the tabernacle 75 times. Mm-hmm. There's a reason.
Yeah.
But so there also must be a reason there's details missing. But the person in me that just wants to know all the details.
I know all the things.
One day we can ask all the questions.
We will.
Yes.
We'll have a list. I'm sure of all the things.
Number 12.
Yeah. So my favorite part, and you mentioned it too, how God, it seemed like he did it very strategically.
Yeah.
Bringing down the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Like a step at a, not just all at once, but like one step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost like a test, kind of. And like, oh, okay. Oh, great. You have faith in this number. Great. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to pull even more people away from you.
Right.
Oh, great. You think you can do that? Just kidding. We're going to pull more people away.
How much do you trust?
Right.
That as crazy as this sounds.
Yes.
To your eyes, to your senses, I'm a tactical person, you know, all that. And it's thinking like, I'm not going to have my weapons. And I'm going to have literally, they're going to be 450 times the amount of people that we're fighting with no weapons.
No.
This does not make sense to me.
No. That's stressful.
Do you still trust me in the face of
it
absolutely not making sense?
And Gideon, I feel like outwardly he showed like he had a lot of faith, but inwardly, do you think he was also on that same level? Or do you think he was like freaking out?
Well, and I think God met him that because I think he knows, like he asked these big things, but he even has these tenderness to come to him and say, are you afraid? No, I'm fine.
No, I'm definitely not afraid.
Fine, I'm good. No, are you afraid? Walk down there and listen. I'm setting this up. I've got this. Like he's like, do you trust me? Also, like, I'm going to give you like those breadcrumbs. I've got you. Don't worry. So he's got this like
give and take almost.
Yeah. I think he's still tender and gracious in those things that he asks of us.
100%. Because he knew this is how it had to happen.
Yeah.
It would not have made such a big impact if Gideon had the same amount of people and the same amount of weaponry. Yeah. Because of course they would have won.
Yeah. Right. And they would have attributed it to like, look how awesome we are. We're great.
We did this.
Right.
And they couldn't have pointed back to God and say, wow, we literally beat thousands and thousands of people with 300.
Yeah.
That would never have happened.
Yeah. Because I looked it up because I tried reading over and over again. And it said, when I looked it up online, it said there was like 150,000 Midianites and 300 of them.
300.
That's not good odds.
That's horrible odds.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like watching 6 kids and me. That's a lot.
Right.
But this is
like, also horrible odds.
This is worse.
Right. And that's, I mean, obviously that's why God set it up that way. And that makes sense, which I love. And then I love how in chapter 8, the one thing that stuck out to her is she goes, oh, they're not going to feed these people? Yes. They're going to be hangry and fighting?
Send them away hangry? Like, this is not a good plan.
No, because if we don't eat, like, wow. This is bad news.
Yeah, I was a nanny for a long time. If I did not eat, then it did not go well for the small humans.
Good. No. I mean, me neither for my children. I'm like, you guys, I need a snack before I try to parent you.
Bacon. This is a tip. I learned this.
No, but see, then all my kids, kids will eat all the bacon that I make for myself.
You put a package of bacon in your purse and at church on Sunday, because all of our services cross right into lunchtime.
Yeah, they do.
You just pass the bag down the line. Everybody takes the piece of bacon. You're held over to lunchtime.
Wow.
You're welcome. That one was free.
That's great. I'm going to do that. I'm going to now bring bacon every Sunday. Wow, that is a great call.
Transitioning from the Old Testament when they can't eat bacon.
Yeah, true.
Into the New Covenant, people. This is amazing.
Here we are. Now, that was a good transition.
Right to Luke.
New Testament. Luke 23. So this is when Pilate.
Yeah.
So I guess I haven't read this in a while, but like, I don't remember Pilate arguing with the crowd so much to save Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was just kind of some evil psychopath.
And I don't know if it's because he necessarily had any
affection or like
toward Jesus.
Right.
But he was like, why?
But he knew the law.
Right. And
that's why he was a good lawyer.
Like, he's innocent.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I don't want to have the guilt of him on my hands.
Right. Of killing him for literally no reason.
Yeah.
But then apparently it only took 3 or 4 times for the crowd to be like, boo, kill him. Kill him. And he's like, okay, guys. Yeah. You're right. I'll do it. Okay. That's horrible.
Yeah. He's easily swayed.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's not good at his job.
No.
Not good at his job.
We're just making judgments on Pilate right now.
We are. But I mean, I feel very justified in that.
I mean, yeah. I like to play devil's advocate all the time. Anybody that's had a conversation with me is like, but I thought you believed this. I do. I just like to be controversial because it brings up good conversation. Like,
that's true.
What would I have done if I had been Pilate?
If you were Pilate?
All these people, and I'm like, I don't really have a connection to this one way or the other. Like, do I want them all on my bad side?
Do you think you would have sent him to his death, Jesus, if you were in Pilate's position?
I don't know, because I like Jesus.
I know.
I'm a Jesus fan. So I don't know, but not being that and in the political position, having to think about, do I want all of these Jews to hate me?
Right.
Even though I'm like, I don't think he did anything wrong.
I know.
But at the same time, do I get
hard.
all of them on my bad side?
I don't know. See, I feel
I'm
like
not trying to defend
I would hope I wouldn't care enough. I feel like I wouldn't care enough.
Yeah.
To I don't care what you say, crowd. He literally did nothing wrong. Good night.
Yeah.
I would like to think that would be that if I lived in that time. But also, I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. I don't like those questions.
Those are hard questions.
Those are really hard questions. Yikes.
Yes.
Okay, so one of my favorite parts is when Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. And the soldiers gambled for his clothes by throwing dice. That's like very polar opposite things. Jesus having this tender moment of forgiveness of all of these horrible people.
Yeah.
And then the horrible people come and they're like, let's bet on his clothes.
Yeah. Which seems,
while he dies, hanging on a cross.
Which seems like a strange pastime.
What?
That's maybe cultural, but.
That seems very aggressive.
Yeah.
Even for them.
Yeah. Again, I feel like there's details missing, but these are
which is very frustrating.
And it brings so many questions up. And I think that's one of the things I love about doing this is we're not necessarily here to answer a bunch of questions.
Right. We're here to bring more questions.
We're not really helping. No. But I think it helps to know other people have questions.
Yes.
And it helps to know that I'm not the only one reading this going,
oh my gosh, what?
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did I just read that?
Is this real?
Is this for real? There's a Shaggy. Did anybody else notice that as we're reading through all the names? Like in the last couple months? There's a Shaggy.
Like
Scooby?
Do?
I probably shouldn't say that.
Shaggy?
Just saying, there's a Shaggy.
Interesting.
It could have just been the way that the guy read it to me, but I was impressed.
Oh, I kind of like that.
I know.
I'm gonna go find that. No.
Yeah. So anyway.
I feel like I don't want to put ourselves in Jesus's mindset, but how would you have handled that as you're dying like this?
As gracious as Jesus.
And you're like, please forgive them, for they're killing me right now. And they're like gambling for your things.
I have a hard time. I work at Starbucks currently, and I have moments like that are so much more minuscule, not even on the scale of trying to forgive people who are just not
like irk you.
Pleasant.
No.
You know, they haven't had their coffee. We'll just say that.
Okay.
And I am not as forgiving even in those moments.
Right.
And I just don't know that I would make a good Jesus.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that like, no to you. That was for me. Like, oh gosh, no, you
made a great choice. You are not the right one.
I would also be a terrible choice. I'd be terrible at this job. I'd be terrible, Jesus.
It's okay.
Horrible, which is why this Jesus was Jesus.
He was great. Jesus was awesome. Yeah. So
okay.
We don't often talk about the Psalms and the Proverbs because we don't. They either seem straightforward or just it's another song. And but I had a thought actually on the way over here is I'm a musician and I naturally have this like inclination to love the Psalms just because it kind of just comes naturally to me. But I know that that's not actually the norm. It's not. Everybody likes the Psalms. They either kind of skim past them. But what I do love about the Psalms, whether you like them or not, I think it shows us that no matter what situation we're in, the highs or the lows, whether we are being chased by our father-in-law or we are being, blessed and winning the lotto, whatever the case may be, that what we do and our action is exactly the same.
Yeah.
That we say, I'm bringing it right back to you.
Right.
I'm going to trust you and I praise you because I know who you are. I know what you've done in my past. And I think that's what the Psalms show us, that David's super honest with wherever he's at. And he is all over.
Lays it all out.
Scale of crazy.
Yes.
At any point. But he's always just like, God, this is where I'm at.
Right. And the transparency that everyone should honestly come to God with
invite you into every place, my happy and my sad. And I'm still going to choose to worship you in the midst of it. And I think that's a really good lesson that no matter where you're at, that the outcome is still this, or the answer is still the same.
Yes.
Is just go to him with the good and the bad and all the things.
That's so true.
So that's my Psalms thought.
Thanks for joining us today.